Hello and welcome everyone. This is week 4 of the Collegiate Chess League's fall 2025 season. My name's Joe. This is D1, SRM, Institute of Science and Technology, all the way from India versus University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Let's dive right in. Let's get into it. They've got games starting. Here we go. So it looks like this matchup here, we've got a Grandmaster versus an International Master. The GM is Santiago Avila. This might be their debut on the CCL broadcast. It looks like a familiar name to me from the UTRGV team. Board 2 versus Chess Missile 07. That's Harsh Suresh. Board 3 from SRM IST. International Master on board 3 for India. Let's check out some of the other players. Here we've got Gleb Duden, aka Woodland Magic, with the black pieces. Top board from UTRGV up against another International Master from India. This time it's the Titan 15. That is Mohammed Anis. That is their board 4. So SRM, they've got a very strong team. UTRGV, they've taken down SLU, I believe, in week 2, who are the number 2 seed, defending champs. So UTRGV definitely here to play this season. Definitely has the firepower, the strength to take down any team, I believe. But SRM, they're a very strong team. They've been a CCL semifinalist in the past. They're pretty new to the scene. And if I'm not mistaken, they played in the India College Chess Championship finals literally just yesterday. And I can only imagine that they won. Haven't double checked that or confirmed, but they've won the past 2 ICCC seasons. So I'm not surprised if they made it 3 straight. But this UTRGV team, as I had mentioned, has taken down SLU. But last week they lost to Texas Tech. So Texas Tech getting their first win of the season against in-state rivals. But UTRGV, a bit stronger of a lineup this week. We still see Maria, who's playing on board 4. Here she is with the white pieces, Woman Grandmaster, 2500. She's playing against the number 1 board from India, Srihari LR, not to be confused with Srihari L. But Blitzking, top board from India, Grandmaster 2900, but this is looking like a very good position for Maria. But she is down on time. Let's see if she's able to find some good moves here. It likes queen to e2, giving a check, preventing castling. Although black has this nice open h-file, not sure if they would castle. White's definitely expanded a bit on the king side, rook on g1. So no castling king side for white. Now this bishop and knight are converging on g3. So this last move from black, developing the dark square bishop, aims at maybe giving a check. This king will go uncastled. So bishop to e3 is played. This is the second best move behind queen e2 check. So if you put your opponent in check, they don't have time to put you in check. So maybe Maria didn't want to trade queens. That could have been a possibility. But of course, if you trade queens, again, your opponent's still in check. They either have to demote their bishop or take with the king and go uncastled. In this line, white is the one that's going uncastled. So the king is on d2, a bit of a bomb cloud structure, if you will. But probably the queen still comes to e2, maybe this rook comes to d1, and then the king can tug its way back. Sort of a manual castling. So yeah, bishop check, bishop block, queen steps to e2, guarding the bishop. And so black doesn't take, inviting another piece into the equation. Instead drops the knight back, looking for this trade. And that is accepted. But now black is able to reconnect their central pawn. So not sure if Maria's played the best way forward here. Just looking to trade queens here now. So now I question why we didn't play queen e2 check. Maybe there was something else that I had missed, but this is looking to be a much better position now for black. Okay, this is an interesting move. Bishop back to e5, putting pressure on the knight, putting pressure on white to instigate this trade first. I still think rook ad1 is a very solid move here. But you always have to question. Right now, actually, the bishop's threatening this fork. So rook ad1 would have blundered a piece. That's why we see Maria bringing the knight back to e2. This pawn is technically hanging, but rook ab1, and you're getting that pawn back. So this really wouldn't be good for black. It's not really winning material. It's just a trade of pawns, and it's also just very much activating this rook. So probably maybe rook af1, defending this pawn and getting ready to tuck the king back. That's exactly what we see here. Maria is down to a minute. A minute versus over 3 minutes. So this is definitely looking good for India. Obviously, you want your top board to beat your opponent's fourth board. Let's take a look at Pato here. Pato versus losing experience. Both players are international masters. Pato is Ekin Osner, or Osnier. Fan favorite, one of my favorites from the UTRGV team. Losing experience, 2,800. This is Srihari L. So the top two boards from India are both named Srihari L, but the top board is Srihari LR. We have our first result, actually. Wow, the Titan taking down the top board from UTRGV. That is not the best result for the Texas team. A very strong result for India. So let's see what happened. What went wrong here for the top board from Texas? Yeah, we had this strong pawn center. All the pawns are looking to get traded, and here we go. Here's the problem, is that we lost an exchange. And then what is this? Resigns here? I'm not sure if that's right. Was there a game abandoned or something? I don't know. This is actually much better for Gleb. So why did white win? I don't know. I'm sorry. That is unfortunate. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Gelato. Good to see you. How do I share this game? What's up, Zach? Good to see you. Okay, we have a second result. Ekin Osnier losing to the losing experience. So far, these are not good results for Texas. The India team is getting some points on the board. It's 2-0 right now. So let's give a point to the Titan. A board 4 upset. That game seems pretty disappointing, I'm not going to lie, because I think it ended early somehow. And I think that the Texas player was winning up in exchange. Here we see black infiltrating with the rook on h2. And it's going to be difficult to defend all of these pawns. And Maria has less than 10 seconds. So yeah, pawn push is a very strong move, actually, and it seems to be just straight up winning. And there's no time wasted here. Blitz King finds it with 2 minutes on their clock. Here, just rook takes, forces a trade of rooks, and this king is gonna create a passed pawn. So this outside passed pawn is gonna win the game, and Black is saying, you know what, I'm gonna not even let you have any counterplay. So I'm gonna shoulder your king off for the time being. And we have the last game, Chess Missile versus Santiago. That ends in a draw. So Harsh Suresh getting a draw against the Texas second board. Yeah, and this is yeah. Black saying, you know what? Any chance you have of counterplay, I'm actually gonna go after these pawns first. And we see resignation. So top board from India getting the job done and a demolition in first round. No losses for the India team. Okay, I'm actually getting word why the game was abandoned. The Texas team is getting a fire alarm right now, a fire drill. So that's not good. So we'll have to figure this one out, I suppose. So we might have to take a break, unfortunately. Yeah, we're waiting to hear back from the India team. Um, at least it's a drill and not a real fire. Actually, honestly, they didn't tell me if it was. I don't think it matters. Well, as far as needing to reschedule, I think that's fair. Regardless, is what I mean. But I guess we'll see what happens. This is the first. I'll be honest with you guys. I've never seen this happen before. Mid match. Actually, I mean, I have seen. Yeah, I feel like that's happened on another match where it was like an individual player had to evacuate and they came back. I feel like also I think I've seen Eric Rosen have something similar like that happen to him before. Something tells me this is something that would happen to him. I have a feeling. Maybe I just completely made it up, but I don't know. Otherwise, I guess we're just going to have to take a break and hang out and see what happens. All right. Well, sorry for the delay, but we'll be back if they are back. I'll give it like 10 or so minutes, I guess. Um, all right. I'll be back. Sorry for the delay. And we're back because Maria is still playing. So we'll keep an eye on Maria's game. Maria is in a different dorm. So her building is not affected by the fire alarm, whereas the other three players from Texas do. So we'll keep an eye on this one then, I suppose. So apparently their alarm is off now, which is good. So they should be returning back shortly. And I see games already starting, so looks like they're back. And this is round 2, so they're not replaying. Okay, seems like things are going back to normal. All right. Yeah, I've seen some crazy starts, but that is definitely up there. A 3.5 to a half lead for India. 2 games lost by abandonment or on time due to a fire drill in round 1. And round 2, resuming like nothing happened. So we'll see. Hey, robots, good to see you. Welcome in. Yes, this is the Collegiate Chess League Fall 2025 season. Um, this is week 4, so competition started the last week of September. And essentially, it's a league for college chess teams. These two teams are in the top division, so there are 25 divisions. There are 384 teams registered from about 200 schools around the world. These two teams in particular is SRM IST, which is in India, and UTRGV is University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. So UTRGV actually has a scholarship team with multiple grandmasters. And the India team has a couple grandmasters and international masters. This particular game, we have Texas's top board, Gleb Duden, on the white pieces, playing up against Chess Missile, who is Harsh Suresh, board 3 from India. So they just finished round 1, which had a really crazy start. And now they're playing round 2. And there are 4 total rounds. Unless it's tied 8-8, then they'll go to overtime. So right now, India has a 3-point lead, but 2 of their wins in the first round were won by abandonment or on time, because the UTRGV top 3 players all had a fire alarm go off and had to evacuate their building. So they just returned. Luckily, it was just a drill, so all is fine. But we're checking to see if the India team would want to replay those 2 games. But in our rules, it says that the results on chess.com will stand. So we'll see. I think the captain might be asking them that, or they've already moved on to round 2, so the players might be okay with it, but we'll see. It's curious though, because obviously the results are good for India, so they would be incentivized not to replay. And we'll see how it impacts the score. That one game between Gleb Duden and Mohammed was especially rough because he was up in exchange. He was winning. So I'm wondering if it's possible to like start a game on your computer and then switch to your phone or something. I'm not sure. Okay, Maria is very low on time. She has 5 seconds. Wow, we just see a queen sacrifice here. Hold on. Fork, queen takes, and yeah, white doesn't even take the queen. White just takes the piece. And then, yeah, pawn push is a fork of the rooks. That's crazy. And Maria loses on time. What a game. Here we've got Texas's board 2 with the king on d3. This is ridiculous. Queen takes, bishop takes, rook over, check, king out. And white has a lot of pressure on f7 right now. But the king is on d3, so this is absolute madness, ridiculousness. Let's give a point to losing experience is Srihari L, the board 2 from India. Yeah, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your chess. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Hope all is well. and I hope you have a great weekend coming up. All right, both players less than a minute, 45 seconds here for the Titan, and they mess up. We have a couple mistakes here, it seems. So let's look at this. King here, the best move, rook A to E8, it likes best. Putting pressure immediately on the queen. Even rook F to E8, that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how that works at all, but anyways, yeah, queen here, and now the best move is rook takes, but they take with the knight, and that allows for bishop to E6. But rook takes threatens queen takes or rook take, like direct, very direct. Because after rook takes, then you do knight takes, and then here, I guess, yeah, the queen's overloaded. But here, we can't take this. Well, we could, but then maybe this rook falls or something. I don't know. So 16 seconds for both players. Knight takes d8 is the best move. It's played. Rook takes. Can we play c4? We have to. Less than 10 seconds here for Santiago. He plays it. Oh, and he doesn't take back. He just runs. Why would you not take back? What were you worried about? I don't know, guys. Oh, he's getting skewered. He was losing the rook. But this combo, I mean, look at this. Man, it was white. White had a really good position. They had a chance with rook takes f7, but they missed it. And now Santiago's still up material, actually. But okay, now he's down material. Wait, no, he's still up material. It's 2 rooks versus a queen, but the king is on d4, and this king is going to get cooked alive. There's a check here. The king runs. Oh, wait. Rook takes c4. Hello? 1 second. Move. Move. Ah! Oh, no. He didn't take. Oh, and now he's getting mated. Or he's losing the rook. He's got skewered. So he's going to pick up this. Defending the bishop. Bishop can come here. I don't think you want to do that, though. Because you're cutting your... Oh! Check. Oh, the king moves. 5 seconds. Okay, so the Titan. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen. We've got 2 outside pass pawns for black, and I think that's going to do it. This pawn is hit. 1 second. Rook defending. Bishop is hit. Less than a second. Oh, 2.0 seconds. 2.3 seconds. Oh, that's a fork. 4 seconds. Holy smokes. He made a move with 0 time left on his clock. How that move registered is beyond me. Rook here is like your only hope. Oh my god. I thought go for this, but no. Okay, rook gets behind. Oh, and that's a skewer. Oh, but the bishop's there to block, and now the other pawns are running. And now he's going back for that g-pawn. Look at this bishop. Oh, but the queen's going to force the king to move. And you never know what's the safe spot to go to. Anyone could flag. It might be perpetual, but black needs to find a way to make progress. Rook takes is defended now. Yeah, and they know it too. They put the queen on the g file. Oh, and there's your fork. Ouch. Yeah, that was crazy. He tried to go for an h file check, but he gets forked there, and that's why the queen is so powerful. What a game. That was ridiculous. Okay, Gleb Duden won his game. The Titan is now 2 for 2. Gleb gets on the board, a first point for Texas. And we've got Blitz King versus Pato. So Blitz King, top board, Grandmaster from India, Srihari LR, up against Ekin Oznir. So it looks to me like Ekin is up a pawn. White's attacking that pawn right now, and now putting pressure on the knight as well, which is really important because even if black defends this pawn, we can still take it because the knight will be hanging. So we see the knight move to defend, but now the knight can get kicked, like f3, I imagine. f3, and there's d5. Okay, d5 is found. So black is going to maintain their one pawn advantage. Can they push for the win? And this would be very big for the Texas team, making sure that they don't lose any more time because they want to keep the match close. The knight reroutes to d4. Rook on the second. The knight steps back, maybe looking for c4. This king might move, but not sure. Maybe this pawn will push. Okay, white's trying to take some space. Black's trying to trade rooks. That's what the knight went to c4 for, to cover b2. We see a check, trade of pawns. f4, maybe, no, your rook is hanging, so you either reroute your rook or you trade rooks. Both are probably fine. The computer likes trading best, which makes sense because I think if you could trade down a bit, that endgame might be better. But with the material on the board, black has more opportunity to stir up some trouble and get an attack going. So computer likes knight d2. Knight comes back. Yeah, it's starting to like black a bit. So now, and you leave this rook on, this king is cut off. This knight has to move, and where is it going to go? Right? It's got no backwards moves, which means you have to go forwards. Or if you go to f5, you're losing a pawn. So c6 is the only option here. Oh, and the computer hated this move. What did it want? It wanted knight c4 now. So pawn push. Black is trying to dismantle the white pawn structure. Only 30 seconds for Srihari. Deciding what to do. Again, it's liking knight c4. It really wants this e-pawn with the knight. But yeah, now this pawn is hanging. King e6 is maybe possible, but you're going to get checked, perhaps. Over a minute for Ekin. Now under a minute. A lot of pressure riding on this one pawn advantage. Okay, he finds the best move, knight c4. He gives up the defense of the d pawn. Takes, and now knight takes e3. This is a winning shot. Rook is hit. Rook gives a check. King back to g7 forced. Takes, and now knight f1. King here, knight d2. Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter where the king goes. There's a discovery, and the rook is hanging on d6. That is absolutely ridiculous. So white has to give up the exchange. Wow. What a tactic. Absolutely brilliant. From Ekin Osnir. What a find. What a maneuver. Those tricky knights. That pawn was poisoned. And now white is trying to hold the defense down in exchange. Less than 10 seconds. Ekin Oznir, less than 30 seconds. King up, knight f3 now. And the computer says it's a draw. Ridiculous. What was needed there? King g6 was the fold. It wanted rook f4. Okay, it wanted to go after the g pawn, which was hard to defend. Knight f3. Oh, and now it's losing again. Chess is hard, dude. Chess is hard. It's hard to defend, right? So where did white mess up? Moving the king. Well, it wanted king back to f2. So yeah, I wanted to hold all of this together. The knight was defending the pawn, and yeah, black wins a pawn here. King is stepping up. There's a check. King steps back. There's another check. King comes around. Don't go to g1. Save the rook. Yeah, rook all the way in the corner. Keeping that guy around. Keeping him safe. That's a skewer. Rook f4 maybe? King is up now. This is really good. This is really good. You can't go here because rook f4 is a fork. So you trade off that g-pawn, and you've got a pawn versus a knight. But up in exchange for black is looking pretty good. You could even consider sacking the exchange back, but you got to make sure that that pawn in game is winning. So probably you don't do that. Probably you just push the pawn. Okay, so Peto getting the second point for UTRGV, and India maintains their 3-point advantage from round 1. We're done with 2 rounds, so we're going into the second half of the match, rounds 3 and 4. And I have a word here. So it seems India has not responded to their rematch requests. Yeah, it's hard to play with low time. They do have a 2-second increment, but it's still very difficult. So we're waiting on round 3. These games should be starting soon. And there you go. So this is board 2 from Texas versus board 1 from India. And Santiago with the white pieces hasn't moved yet. We have another game that started here. Gleb Duden versus Srihari L. You see a trade of knights here. We've got 2 pawns for black in the center, 1 for white. White can castle kingside if they want, developing the knight. Maybe c4 at some point. Hello, Berto. We've got Maria's game starting here. In chat, well, it's a wide range of chats. I watch a lot. I chat a lot. Oh, I don't know. Oh, the skate release. I don't know, maybe. Probably. I mean, doesn't he have a, is that the guy that's got a chessboard in his background? He's got a chess set behind him. Maybe. You don't know. Is he a skate streamer? Maybe not. I don't know. It's okay. All right. Ekin Osnir starting his game. Yeah, Texas has some catch-up work to do. Unfortunately. Yeah, this game is getting restarted. All right, so we've got moves on all boards. Round 3 officially underway. We have an Italian here. This is my favorite opening from white. Ooh, can we imagine a fried liver? Okay. D3 and now H6 preventing the pin. And we see C3. This is more of a main line. A4 creating space for the bishop in case of knight A5. So deciding between probably bishop E6, bishop G4. We do see A5. Queen to B3 now. So there's no knight A5. There's no bishop to E6. So probably you'll need a queen move here. Queen defending the F pawn. And now white can just castle. They bring the knight out. Probably D4 at some point is a good move. Pawn to G5. Daring white to castle into the attack. Knight to F1 is played instead. Bishop fianchettos. And now the knight says, all right, I'm going to hit that bishop. Knight F5 is going to be annoying. But black can castle as well if they wish. If H4, there's G4. Okay, queen steps aside, saying that the bishop will take out the knight if it lands on F5. So now we can just continue. You could do H4, G4. This knight goes somewhere. We can castle as well. Under 4 minutes here for Santiago. Does decide to castle. Let's see if black wants to stir up some trouble, or if they too will castle. Yeah, castles for both sides now. So this king, relatively safe. It's not clear how white's going to break through necessarily. You could sacrifice, but probably not worth it. And every time you push, black will push as well to keep things closed. Let's take a look over at Maria's game. Maria is down on time. About 1.5 to 3 minutes from Harsh. Harsh only has a draw so far, so this could be a good chance for Maria to get on the board, but she's still thinking. And she's a little bit worse on the position, it seems. It really wanted d5, I think. So the queen's just attacking f2 with the knight. But white can defend it by moving their queen. The queen maybe likes the h-file. Maybe queen h3 was another idea as well. Knight has to go to e5. Now we can play f4 and kick the knight again. The computer likes bishop to e3, hitting the knight, or the queen. f4 is played. So the knight has to rehome. You can go to g6, and does so. And now here, white can castle. And does that. F-pawn's defended by the bishop. F5 might be interesting to open up the e-file. Black probably needs to develop this bishop so they can also get castled, but this is not a good structure for the black king. Elias chess, thank you. Appreciate it. Speaking of time scrambles, Maria, 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes, but we also have Gleb Dudin, who's raising up a storm right now against Srihari L, losing experience, who's also got 30 seconds to Gleb's over 3 minutes. This looks like a free pawn. Did black really just have no moves? This pawn is hanging. Yeah, so pawn push, a distraction, but a free pawn nonetheless that needs to be taken. And has done so with tempo on the rook. If you take with the rook, you maintain this pawn structure, but then black might be able to defend this pawn. Here, and you have the rook activity, but that's another pawn. You could see this chat. Wait, what's the idea behind this? I guess there was probably going to be some checks. So this is a 3-pawn advantage for Gleb. Rook and pawn endgames can be tricky though. But less than 20 seconds now for Srihari. This is going to be very difficult to defend and to hold. So we have a pawn push. Black is maybe trying to create a mating net. With this pawn push, any rook back rank check would be mate. So black is not giving up all hope. White decides to push their pawn, claiming space. And now black's going after sort of any weakness. Rook check is very solid. With the pawn blocking out the king is forced to go backwards. And now we can push this pawn if we want, and we do want that. The only other way to defend it would be to bring the rook down. Now this pawn looks like it's going to be hanging. However, if black takes this pawn, the white king can then step up and we can box this rook out. But now we want to go towards the center. White says, I have too many pawns to worry about this h-pawn. And this rook gets one pawn back, but now the white king is free. Black says, I have a pass pawn as well. So it's an all-out race. Connected pass pawn here. This gives the rook some mobility. This pawn, though, might be gone. We could push. We could sacrifice the pawn and get behind black's pass pawn, and it looks like we're doing exactly just that. This king is now cut off as well. This king is looking for shelter on the b file. So this rook never has a check. So we have this check. This pawn is pushing. So this rook can never leave without giving up this pawn. This king can never step off the b file because then the rook gets a check, and then you can promote and make a queen. 3 seconds now. 5 seconds for Srihari. This king can step up, or I mean, you could just push this pawn as well. The thing is, okay, king here, probably black's going to go for this activity. So yeah, they decide to push. The rook, you trade off the pass pawns, but white is left with the only remaining pass pawn, and so black loses on time here. Okay. Maria lost her game to Harsh, so Harsh gets their first win of the match. Gleb Duden won his game, is now at 2 out of 3. And we have 2 games remaining. Santiago looks to be losing here against Srihari LR, the top board from India. So only 18 seconds for Santiago. This was the Italian game that we were looking at. So where did we leave off? After castles, castles, and we do see the sacrifice. I'm surprised to see this. Wow, and taking the knight and now pushing f4. Knight comes in. Rook takes with tempo. Rook's doubled. Gets the dark square bishop back. Trade off here. Oh, and black gives up the queen for 2 rooks. And so black sacrificed a piece and is down 2, or white sacrificed a piece. It's a queen versus 2 rooks and a bishop, but an exposed king. This is very much any result game. But black is for choice, for sure. This pawn is not really hanging because the bishop is here. So this gives white an opportunity to bring their king up. And there's only one other game. We've got Ekin Oznir against the Titan. This is the board 4 from India, Mohammed. And, oh, queen takes, bishop takes, hit the knight, exchange rooks. Ekin Oznir is up a minute, but he's down in material. White has the bishop pair. 1 pair of rooks traded. The knight steps back, wants to reroute. So Ekin's hope is that black is in time pressure and will blunder. And he's looking like he's trying to pick this up. Bishop here now. The idea is to remove the defender of the bishop. So the bishop has to move. Wow, it likes taking on b2 from Ekin. Will Ekin find it? That's his best hope. And the idea is that after knight takes, there's a fork. The bishop could go to c5. Oh! Gives up the knight. Oh, no. Ekin couldn't find bishop takes b2. It was too tough. And now black's threatening to promote on b2. Oh, but rook takes. The bishop is guarding. Yeah, so that's a 2-piece advantage, and we see resignation. So Ekin goes down to Mohammed, who's a perfect 3 out of 3. Great match for the board 4 from India. And India is actually 1 point away from winning the whole match, and they could do it with the round to spare here. Both players on an absolute time scramble. The 2 rooks are very strong. Queen b6, keeping an eye on this rook. 10 seconds for Srihari. Rook hits the queen. Queen steps down. King steps back. King steps up. Steps back again. Trying to build some time. And White's hope is to create a passed pawn. There's a 2-on-1 here. King stepping up. Hitting the bishop. Bishop will come back. 5 seconds for Srihari. 10 seconds for Santiago. A lot of king shuffling. They're trying to get their time back. Queen b6. Yeah, this might be a perpetual. No. Queen says, I have some checks now. Queen b8. Pawn hits the rook. Rook comes over. And now the passed pawn. Oh, queen check. The computer hates it. Oh, because the rook block. Oh, no. Santiago goes down. And that is the 8.5 point threshold. Srihari LR getting their second point. 8.5, 3.5. They will play the fourth round regardless. Every point matters for tie breaks at the end of the season. Also, the India team, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even if you just give those 2 points to Texas, they'd still be losing. So it might not even matter, but it would be 6.5 to 5.5, which obviously is a much closer score. But we'll see how this last round goes. Maybe Texas can bring something back here. We're waiting for round 4 to start. It'll be the top board versus the top board, board 2 versus board 2, 3 versus 3, and 4 versus 4. Yeah, it was a 3-point advantage. Now it's a 5-point advantage, so that was another very strong round for the India team. So we're still waiting on the final round. They should be starting. They have to record their results in between rounds. And yep, they have round 4. They should be starting any second now. So here we go. We've got Maria, her 4th game. These are tough opponents for sure. This player, the Titan, 2795 international master, Mohammad Anis M from India, is a perfect 3 out of 3 so far, and they've taken down the top 3 boards. Now, the first round, they were down in exchange against Gleb Duden until the fire drill happened. We'll see if Maria can stop them. A perfect 3 out of 3. Maria, meanwhile, hasn't gotten any points so far, so this is looking like an uphill fight for Texas. About 300 rating point difference as well between the two players. Yeah, SRM, very strong team for sure. Let's take a look at the second game here. I see we've got Ekin Osner against Chess Missile. This is Harsh Suresh. These are the board 3s. Both players with 1 win so far, but Harsh has a draw as well. We'll see if Ekin can get out ahead of this one. Both players international masters. Around 2,800, slight rating advantage for India, but Ekin has the white pieces. These pieces haven't developed yet, but white will probably castle kingside at some point. Black castles kingside immediately. And the knight comes out. We'll see the bishop coming out next. The computer likes white, though. It likes, I think, this pawn structure in the center. 2 pawns to 1. There's already some pressure on d5. Some pressure by the queen on some of these minor pieces. That was not a move that was played. But I'm expecting, like, if white could, they would attack this knight with the bishop. You're forcing this trade here in some capacity. And Ekin seems to be very comfortable with the opening. Only has spent 7 seconds on the clock, whereas Harsh is spending some time here, down to 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So the bishop comes out. Now, there is pressure against the queen. It's an X-ray. It's a discovery, potentially. However, black would have to give up the bishop there. So queen decides to come all the way back. I would assume that as well, Krishna. That was my assumption. So yeah, computer did not like Ekin's queen retreat. It thinks it was a little too soon. Bishop comes out now to d3, and now is ready to castle. Does so. And now this bishop is no longer pinning the knight. Let's take a look at some of the other games that have just started. We've got the board 2s. Santiago with the black pieces here from Texas versus Srihari. And now the main game here, board 1 versus board 1. Blitz King, Srihari LR versus Woodland Magic. That's Gleb Duden. Grandmaster versus Grandmaster. Both players 2 out of 3. Gleb only having lost in that first round by abandonment. Black, both knights trained on this e-pawn. White has rook, knight, and bishop defending. And Gleb's trying to damage the structure, seeing if he can be annoying with this a-pawn. So if white stops it, then that's creating a weakness on b3. So instead goes rook b1, saying go ahead, open my b file. Black bringing the queen to b8, protecting the b pawn. Bishop steps out now opposite the queen. And with the queen on b8, black can play for b5 if they wanted to, support with the bishop. Both players at about 4.5 minutes. So yeah, we've got all 4 games. If Texas wins 3 of them, then that first round becomes pretty relevant. So we'll see. But also, you know, it could be kind of a psychological battle, knowing that you lost some games in the first round that maybe you shouldn't have. Maybe it's possible they could figure out when the scheduled fire drills would be. All right, by the way, with bishop here opposite the queen, queen steps out, and now this bishop is blocking the rook. So this pawn is hit 3 times. Okay, queen gets hit again, but now this pawn has even fewer defenders. So that's going to induce f3, which creates some serious weaknesses in front of the white king. But everything is held together, it seems. It's all protected and defended. So it's up to black to really try to figure out if there's a way to break through. But all the pieces seem to be really well placed. Here, black playing c6, striking at the center. We see this capture, b takes. Yeah, computer didn't like that so much. What did it want? It wanted to move the king or play bishop to f2, it seems. Okay. And now, yeah, black just continues trying to break down the center. And that's really how you play against a weakened king pawn structure. You want to just strike in the center and just open things up, right? Because the more pawns you trade off, the more the pieces can breathe. Knight putting pressure here. This bishop opens up. So Gleb Duden getting a great position here. He starts off by trading rooks. 1 pair of rooks off. And now he gets in this a3 move. Look at that. This knight is pinned by the queen. This queen is hanging right now. It's undefended. So pawn push, just looking to remove the defender. White cannot take, nor can they push, because this knight as well is attacking the knight on c3. So there's only a couple things you can do. You can try to overprotect the knight with moving the rook, but you can also try to trade. There's a lot of problems here, guys. There's a lot of problems. If knight here, yeah. Problem is you're losing material, I think. Hey, Faye, good to see you. You graduated from UTRGV? Let's go. Okay. Did you know they had a scholarship chess team? Did you know that they have one of the best chess teams in the entire world? Did you know that? Were you a part of the scholarship chess team? Was that why you went there? They recruited you? That makes sense now that I think about it. That checks out. Shout out to Faye, alum of UTRGV. Where is that? Like McAllen, Texas? Right on the border, right? He didn't become a nerd until later. So UTRGV turned you into a nerd. Well, you're looking at the top board from Texas, Grandmaster Gleb Duden with the black pieces, and he looks like he's about to take down the Grandmaster from India, their top board. So let's take a look at some of the other boards. Texas has their fourth board, Maria, here, who looks to have an advantage, actually. This is perhaps Maria's best chance. This is also one of the very rare times I see her up on time. So shout out to Maria, board 4 from Texas. Looks like she's trying to stir up some potential to win. The computer likes queen g3 or queen to e3. Both of these moves just put extra defense on this knight that's currently under siege right now. So there is a pin on the knight, but now the knight could come backwards and defend, and Maria's maintaining a time advantage. So this is her best chance to get on the board. Let's check in with Ekin Oznir. Ekin looks to have an equal position, but he's up on time by a lot. Ekin's up a pawn, actually. We've seen these positions, like a knight and a pawn advantage. So Ekin's definitely in his element. Now the thing that black has going for them, this pawn might be weak, right? The king is in a better spot for sure. So the only way to combat that, I think white has to go for the activity, the counterplay. So with perfect play, this probably is a draw, but we've seen players make mistakes, especially in time pressure. Yeah, this position, Blitz King just has no time. He's less than 10 seconds. So he decides to move the queen. Queen gets hit, loses the B pawn, right? Now goes for this trade of queens. This pawn's going to drop for sure. Knight takes, just extra protection on the pawn. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Bishop steps up, but yeah, 3 minutes to 4 seconds is ridiculous. And Gleb Duden is up 2 pawns, which is fantastic. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. King steps up. It's only a matter of time before we see the blunder. Rook coming down, just threatening to promote. 2.3 seconds. Trade off here. I mean, you can just queen if you want to. And there you have it. 1 second. 1 second again. 3 seconds, up a piece and a pawn now for Gleb. So this should be a fairly easy win. Let's check back in with Maria. She's trying to checkmate this guy. Both sides extremely low on time. You can take this. You can trade rooks if you wish. Or what you should do is queen check. Oh, that's a mouse slip. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. How unfortunate for Maria. She's going to flag now. Ugh. She mouse slipped her rook. She probably meant to trade or play rook to g3 where the pawn was defending it, but dang. That was so close. That was her best chance. So Gleb gets a point. Gleb wins, improving to 3 out of 4. Maria goes down to Muhammad, who is a perfect 4 out of 4. Absolute dominant score, sweeping the Texas team. We have 2 games remaining. And this game's looking to be a draw. Right? Oh my goodness. Wait, that was a huge blunder. They both queen, but there's queen to d5 check. Queen b5 check. Oh, and you're going to get skewered. there's the skewer. They trade queens, and now this king is in a superior position and is in time to win the game. Wow, Eakin, a clutch performance there. Black should not have traded. Yeah, Black's trying to trick White, but that's going to be resignation there. That or they play on for a stalemate. But fantastic in game there from Eakin. He lost his extra pawn, but he was able to get in a good position there. So Eakin improves to 2 out of 4. And we're down to the last game here. It looks like Santiago looks like they're going to win this one. So, yeah, Black is crushing in this position. I mean, look at this king. Look at these pawns. Queen, both rooks doubled. Less than 20 seconds for Srihari L. And, yeah, those first 2 games, they'll be really important. Well, assuming that, okay, yeah, very nice deflection tactic here. Yeah, I was going to say, assuming Santiago can convert this. Queen takes, we're threatening mate in 2 would be just beautiful. What do you need? You need queen e3. Pawn push, just, I mean, come on. Less than 10 seconds. King a2. Queen here threatening mate. Queen back. Should have played this maybe earlier. Bishop d3. Blocking the defense. And there's no defense now. 1 second, 0 seconds. So Santiago ends on a good note, gets a win. Their first win of the match, mind you. And the score is 9.5 to 6.5. But those first 2 games in round 1, I think they're going to stand. So India team, I think, can claim the win on that, and that's probably what they'll do. And that's the match. But yeah, it's unfortunate because Gleb was winning in his game against Mohammed. So even just that 1 point swing is a difference of 2 points, basically. Because it brings it within 1. The game that Eakin played, he lost on time. So that could have gone either way as well. So who knows what could have been. So yeah, very unfortunate for Texas. It could have been a much closer match. But yeah, a good round in the last round for them. I think winning that last round 3-1. But not enough. Hey Jenny, good to see you. Yeah, unfortunate for Texas. But Texas will be back tomorrow. They're playing against the number 1 seed Mizzou. So that'll be a very tough match as well. But congrats to the India team on getting their win today. A little bit of luck with that first round. So, yeah, that's it for me. I think I'm going to head out here, you guys, but make sure you tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back with more UT Rio Grande Valley up against Mizzou. So that'll be a tough match, but you don't want to miss it. All right, I will see you all later. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Thank you, Robot. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, James. And Krishna. I'll see you all later. Bye. All right, psych. I have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. This match is not over. And right on cue, we've got the games are being made up. This is what we all wanted to see. India has agreed to replay the two games that were lost on time in round one. So I'm going to retroactively remove a point from Mohammed, and Ekin played against Srihari, who is playing right now. So the match is not over yet, you guys. This first round of the match is these two games were affected by the fire drill. So Texas has a chance to win. If they can win both games, they'll win 8.5 to 7.5. So, I mean, shout out to India, the good sportsmanship. They could have left it at that and just claimed a win, but they don't want to leave any suspicions or doubts. They want to prove that they deserved the win. And if they lose, then they'll say that they didn't deserve it. So, shout out to them for playing on. You love to see the sportsmanship. I am still waiting on the second game, though. Gleb Duden versus Mohammed. But yeah, Ekin has a great chance here to tie the match back. I need to do some detective work and figure out if they have the right colors. I just want to double check. Ekin lost to losing experience. Yeah, Ekin had white. So that is being replayed. And then Muhammad was a Titan. Muhammad had white and beat Woodland. So that game is also just started here. Okay, wow. Look at that. We've got both games going. Okay. Some drama. All right, well, good luck to Texas. They have a second chance at life, it seems. Very exciting. More chess, you guys. It's basically like overtime. Imagine this match actually does end in overtime. It could be 8-8, and then we'll have to see another round be played. So hopefully all the players are aware and ready for that. But yeah, Ekin looks like they have a good position. This is opposite side castles. So it's all about who can get the attack going. Also, meanwhile, this rook is just cooked. It's trapped, which is hilarious. How did that happen? The rook planted itself here. King here. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? So black says, I'm willingly trying to give you the exchange. But if this pawn takes, this bishop becomes a monster. So that's the point. It's the battle of dark square bishops. This rook is cutting the bishop off in the attack. Now this bishop's trying to battle. And maybe the rook saves itself at this point. So, yeah. I mean, advantage for white for now. Both players around 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Gleb versus Mohammed. Both players are perfect 3 out of 3, fighting for that perfect 4 out of 4 sweep spot right now. Can Mohammed take it? I mean, Gleb was winning their first game, so this is a new chance for Mohammed for sure. Gleb is going to have to fight for that better position again. So both players under 4 minutes. Both players around 2,800. Gleb Duden, obviously higher rated. Grandmaster versus International Master, the favorite. Board 1 versus board 4. But Mohammed hasn't lost yet. This rook is hit right now. What's Gleb thinking? Gleb has to save the rook, right? So where to go? Rook goes to b8. Not as active as the c file for sure. So slight advantage for white for now. But can Mohammed keep it? Meanwhile, back to Ekin Osnier's. Yes, Black's decided that they don't want to give up the exchange anymore and is looking for this trade. If knight takes back, let's see. Knight steps up here. Queen maybe could have gone, I don't know. What's, okay, so trade off here. Now the rook returns. So white never accepted the exchange. So black keeps the rook, but it still likes white. Probably because of a safer king. Both players around 2 minutes. Ekin's building up a little bit of a time advantage, 30 seconds. Some rerouting here. Bishop stepping back. Pressure on the A pawn, actually. Wow, and you can take that if you want. So Ekin can win a pawn. This could backfire and open up the A file, but I think it's fine. We'll see. Okay. Ekin says, no, I'm going to hit the rook. Now, black was okay with giving up the exchange earlier, but this would also come with a pawn. The rook cannot go here because that's going to drop the knight because this pawn is pinned. So the rook has to go here or here, does so, and now, wow, there's knight c7. This queen is overloaded, you guys. Will Ekin find it? 2 minutes to a minute and a half. This is a huge tactic. Oh, he doesn't find it. Ekin's trying to double now. He's trying to double. Rook comes all the way home now. We still have this tactic. What happens if we double rooks? Oh, the knight has space to return. Wow, Ekin missed it. Ekin missed his c7 tactic. And black is still holding. Okay, the knight actually wanted to come here to defend. We can still double. And we do. So now this knight's in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but in pin. Maybe this knight will hop in. Uh-oh. The computer hates this. It says it's a draw now. Knight takes. We're in checking distance. However, oh, 96 now. It's saying. That's a fork. And if knight takes, we're crashing through big time. Oh my goodness. Ekin didn't go for it. Because of this pawn was hanging with the fork. Ekin takes a step out to defend. And now it likes bishop d7, keeping an eye on e6. We're having some drama here. Clocks are getting low. Srihari L and Srihari... No, this is just Srihari L. And then... No, this is Muhammad. Wait. This is Srihari L. My bad. How's Muhammad doing against Gleb? Gleb with the black pieces. Both kings on the king side. There's a knight hanging on h5. We could have a potential discovery. But no. Queen says, I'm going to target your weakened f-pawn. Gleb has a minute advantage on his clock. That's going to be important. Knight goes back to g7, defending the f-pawn. Less than a minute now for Muhammad. And yeah, both players on this side. Looks like white has broken through, actually, because this knight stepping up blunders the h-pawn. So we trade both pairs of rooks, and we get a second pawn. Ekin gives a check. A 2-pawn advantage for Ekin. And 10 seconds as well. So this is looking to be a good conversion for Ekin. He's going to tie the match. 7.5 to 7.5. It's all going to come down to the last game, which could be a draw. Oh my goodness. The drama. Knight back. Less than 20 seconds here for Srihari. Pawn pushing, hitting the queen. Trying to open up white's king. Queen's probably got to move. Well, it's got to move at some point. It likes... What is it like? D takes... Oh, D takes c6? Wait, what? Oh, there's en passant. Does he know he has en passant? He does. He finds it. Knight takes with check. King c1. You don't want to go on a light square. That's for sure. Less than 20 seconds for Ekin. He finds it. That's a pass pawn. Knight over. Any knight move is a discovery. 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Ekin, you got to find a move. 4, 3. Ekin, move. Ekin, please. 1 second. He played that with 1 second left on his clock. He's checked. There's knight f2 check. Is a sacker. Oh, he goes here. There's discoveries. Where does the knight go? Any queen check we can block with the queen. Now less than 10 seconds. There's no queen block, but the king steps up. Less than 10 seconds for both players. There's another check. The king finds safety on b2. There's no more good checks. Knight down to g1. And look at that pass pawn. Bishop's there in time. Bishop stepping up opposite the king. Knights looking for a trade. Queen takes in queen check. Knight block. Knight hits this. This bishop's pinned. Queen takes bishop. White's ready to make a second queen. Knight takes knight. And now white's completely crushing. 1 second. No time. Ekin wins. He ties the match. 7.5 to 7.5. There's one game remaining. Ekin improves to 3 out of 4. And it's all down to this final game. It's saying it's dead even. Both players at 20 seconds or less. Gleb Duden, top board from Texas, with the black pieces. Creates a connected pass pawn. White taking the G file. No queens. We have opposite color bishops. Rook steps up. Bishop saying, get out of my house. Knight h5 now. And now there's knight g3. Knight g3 is Gleb gonna find it? It's a knight sacrifice opening up the H-file. He doesn't play it. That doesn't mean that he won't later. It's still there. You can also play H3. 5 seconds for Gleb. 3. 2-second increment. 10 seconds or less now for Muhammad. Knight snags upon it. Now he finds knight G3. Now that his rook is on the G-file. Best move, king G2. He finds it. H3 check. 2 seconds for Gleb. He doesn't play it. Now you can take the knight, and he does. Pawn takes, hits the rook. There's going to be rook H2. King steps down. Rook's doubled. Knight takes. Oh my goodness. Knight takes G3, and white's winning. Gleb. He's throwing the position, but white could flag. 2 seconds. 1 second. He makes a move. And a draw sends us to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Rook takes rook. They're fighting on. What's going on? Looking for a rook trade. Keeps the rooks on. Rook H2 forces a rook off the board. 2 seconds for Gleb. 1 second. He's going to flag? No, he gives a check. King steps over. 1 second. Trade of rooks. His rook is hanging. He's hitting the knight. We trade off another pair of rooks. And white is up a piece, completely winning. And we see resignation. Oh my goodness, Muhammad proves the victory for India in an absolute masterclass of drama. And the match, it was only 1 point closer, but India keeps the win. They keep their 1 point lead, and Muhammad keeps the force sweep. Dang. What a match. What a conclusion to that. And again, major props to India. Congratulations, proving that they earned the win. Fire drill or not. But yeah, congratulations to India. Thank you for closing out that match, playing the last 2 games. And congratulations to Muhammad clutching out that win there. Gleb Duden, missed opportunities for sure. Had a much better position and a chance to win with the black pieces here. And giving the win to Texas, it could have been. Right here's the peak highlight opportunity for knight G3 check. If king over, we have H3. There's no king move. You have to take, and now rook G8 is checkmate. So if we take this knight, pawn takes. Look at that. Just winning. And would have won an exchange, and this would have been a great position for black. But he didn't find it. He improves. Now he finds it. And he misses H3 check here. King G1, knight H5 check. I mean, it's not easy in such low time. Rook H to G6. What is this? I don't even know. Anyways, you guys, it was not easy for black for sure, by any mean. Here, obviously, could have been a big factor. We find it anyways. We trade. He didn't play H3. So here now, white's winning. Now here, it still could have been a draw, actually. Here and you have mate, actually. So this could have been a perpetual, and the perpetual would have forced overtime. But yeah, as soon as he forces one pair of rooks off, it was game over. This is up a nice piece here. Knight F1 only move. You just save the knight. You save the pawn from promoting. And yeah, Muhammad holding down the fort for the Team India. All right, this time the match is concluded. We know this for sure. And I don't have any other matches to share with you all today. So I will be heading out. We'll send you all off on a raid, and I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have UTRGV again against Mizzou, followed by a Division 16 matchup, I believe, between University of Houston's B team and who else? Who are they playing? Houston D versus, I think, Rice. No, it's Houston B versus Rice's D team. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll see you all then. Take care. Thanks again.